So we spent the last 7 days in Etosha National Park in the north of Namibia. And as we said last week, this national park is absolutely vast, bigger than Wales. But it has amazing animals in it. And in this video, you'll see some of the animals, both big and small, that we saw when we were there, photographs and videos. And you'll also see how we had a little bit of an interesting time when a disaster befell us and we got a flat tyre.
Call it off, let it go.
So we stopped at the Sumo waterhole on the way back to the camp. And we thought we'd just come and have a little look down here. And actually, this is fantastic because there's an elephant on just drinking. There's also a couple of vultures over there by the look of it as well, which is quite cool. There's an elephant drinking, and we are the only people here, which is fantastic. And he's not in any hurry at all. He's having a scratch now. It's just lovely, isn't it?
It is.
This is what we wanted. We wanted to just see animals without too many other people around. And it's not busy in the park at all,
it's
is
not.
it?
No, it's been perfect, hasn't it?
But he is fantastic. Such a magnificent creature.
Jill's favourite animal.
It is my favourite animal. I'm being bitten on my knee at the moment. Get off me. It's just amazing. I just think they're so clever with their trunks as well.
Yes, we came to this waterhole a little bit earlier, maybe an hour and a half ago, and there was nothing here but a number of people. So we thought, okay, on the way back we'll just try again.
We also spoke to somebody earlier who said they'd seen elephants here, didn't they?
Around this area.
Around
yes.
this area, so we thought we'd come back and give it a whirl, and fortunately, here he is drinking away.
we've been driving around for a couple of hours and not really seen a great deal. And then occasionally you get to a place and there's 4 or 5 cars stopped, and you think, what have they seen? They've definitely seen something exciting. It's either an elephant, it's unlikely to be an elephant, a rhino, lion. We have no idea what they've seen, but we're just waiting here at the moment just to see if we can see anything.
We've just heard there's 5 lion to the left of us, and this is what the zebra are doing. And we're just wondering why the heck they don't just run away.
Why not move a bit further back rather than just standing there?
They're all standing staring, which is fine, but you just think, why not move a bit further away? And they're all very much on alert.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't really understand why they just don't run away.
They're about, what, 100 metres away from where?
Apparently the lion are behind the walls of a silo on the left here, and the zebra are all just standing facing in that direction.
Yeah.
Who knows why they do that?
But I guess they're wild animals, they know what they're doing.
Presumably they must do.
They'd last a lot longer out here than you and I would.
Definitely. So what we do know is that just over there by those 4 silos, there are apparently 5 lions lying. Now we've seen 1 or even 2 of them, but they're all lying down behind the grass where they can't be seen. But we think the zebras know they're there because the zebras were on the other side of the road looking very nervous. And now the zebras have come all the way around behind us for a drink. And the zebras are now standing about there-ish, deciding whether to actually go to the waterhole or not. And that's why we decided to stay, because we wanted to see what would happen if they did go for a drink. One of them came up and then it sort of turned around and went back again, so we're not sure.
So they're exceptionally nervous, aren't they?
They are incredibly nervous, they're very much on edge.
There are still a number of zebra on the other side of the road as well. And we've just seen a couple of impala, although they seem to have disappeared now.
I don't think the lions had them, but maybe.
And yeah, this is what safari is all about, isn't it? Just
It is, definitely.
sitting, watching, wondering what's going to go on.
Definitely. So every time we see any elephant dung or anything like that, we always decide that we're trackers. And we start saying, oh, that doesn't look that fresh, or oh, that's a couple of days old, trying to work out where the elephants are.
Yep. Amateur trackers, I think we are.
Amateur trackers.
We haven't got a clue. So what are we saying about this one?
I think this is quite a few days old. It looks a bit dry.
Yep, fair
I
enough.
think at least that's 3 or 4 days old.
Okay, so elephants aren't going to be in the vicinity.
I don't believe they are at the moment, no. So this is our pitch at the second campsite. This is Okakwejo campsite. And when we came here 10 years ago, we were in one of those pitches over there. But this is our pitch right on the edge, which is quite nice. I mean, the pitches are absolutely enormous again. I mean, you could get 3 or 4 of these vehicles in here. I mean, next door they've got 4 vehicles and 4 tents, and it's not a problem at all. You could get easily 3 or 4 vehicles in here. Again, everything's got a table. Well, no, ours hasn't got a table actually, but most of them have got a table. It's got a braai. Ours has got a little bench seat instead of a table. I think that's what that's for. There's lots of bins around, and actually the campsite wasn't full last night, was it?
No, it wasn't.
There were 2 or 3 other spots up here that were empty.
But it is far bigger campsite than the first one.
Yes, it is a lot bigger than the first one. We were a bit worried because there were not many loos and showers, but actually it was fine this morning when we got up, wasn't it? It wasn't a problem at all.
Although that was 6:15.
That was 6:15, yeah. But yeah, there's also washing up places. There's a kitchen. Yeah, very nice indeed. It seems much more deserty in this campsite though. I mean, it's not got grass like the other one has it? But it is lovely. So we've just seen a fantastic male elephant that was absolutely enormous. There was somebody else there and he said, oh, you do know you've got a flat tyre. Now we thought we'd got a slow puncture and we did put some air in it yesterday, but now it is completely flat, which isn't great. And so we're having to change the tyre, but fortunately there was a rest stop nearby, and the rest stops are really good because it basically means that you're fenced in, so nothing can get you, which is good. But that was only like a mile away from where we were stopped, which was great because otherwise I don't know what we'd have done if we'd been out in the open. It would have been a complete nightmare, wouldn't it?
Driven slowly.
We'd have had to have driven very, very slowly.
So we ain't going to get out in this as it is.
No, not at all. Definitely not, because we've seen lions today as well, so we definitely don't want any close encounters with them, do we? So we managed to change the tyre, but not without the odd hiccup. We got the jack under, finally worked out how to use the jack effectively. And then we realised that actually the jack wouldn't get it quite high enough to be able to get the tyre off.
Unfortunately, with the suspension as it was, the car was just going up, but the wheel wasn't.
Yeah.
So we actually had the jack in the wrong place.
And so then the tyre was half off, half on. We couldn't do anything with it. And it was a bit of a nightmare. So I said, well, I'll flag somebody down on the road. But obviously you're not allowed to just walk around because there's lions and things. So I was standing at the gate there waving my arms when a car went past, and they just drove past it, you bastards. Sorry for the language, but I think that was what I said. And then they had seen us, and they went round the little loop and came back to see if we were okay. And it was a German couple. And he basically put his jack in the right place, which enabled us to be able to get the old tyre off and put the new one on. Thank goodness for that, because we were actually thinking we were going to have to spend the night here.
Yeah, no signal or anything. So.
We got emergency numbers, breakdown numbers, etc., but there was not a chance we were going to be able to ring anybody.
No.
So that was a very filthy job.
Hour and a half.
It took us about an hour and a half to change that tyre in the end. But
not quite Formula One.
No. But most of that was actually thinking, how do we work this bit? How do we do that bit?
Yeah. So anyway,
but it's
we're
done.
back on the road again.
We are indeed.
And we know for next time.
We do. Let's hope there's not a next time. So we're driving along this road and we suddenly saw this very, very freshly broken off tree, and there's also lots of debris on the road near it as well, and we think, being expert trackers as we are, that this is the evidence of elephants. There's also lots of fresh elephant poo on the road as well. We're not sure which way they're going. They might be going that way, or they might be going the way we're driving. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Because obviously we know exactly what we're doing.
We are experts at this. We know exactly what we're doing.
Of course.
So yeah, let's go and find these elephants.
Okay, let's go. Termite mounds like this are found all across Etosha and western Namibia, and they're absolutely amazing things. They're made of soil, dung and termite saliva. Who knew a termite salivated? There you go. They can be up to 30 metres wide, and it's quite interesting because they were saying that there's lots of tunnels inside them, and the tunnels, as well as being ways in and out for the termites, actually form ventilation shafts as well. They're incredibly clever, and yeah, just thousands and thousands and thousands of them live in each one. So welcome to Olifantstrus campsite. This is the last of the 3 campsites in Etosha National Park. And this is our pitch, beautiful, right by the edge of the open grassland there. And it looks out towards the waterhole, which is out over a walkway over the fence with a little rotunda in it. It's beautiful to sit out there and watch things coming and going as well.
Yes, we spent a good hour or so, night before last actually, wasn't it?
We did,
watching
yeah.
an elephant, and the elephant was in, I don't know, 10 foot of us.
Yeah, easily 6 foot, I would have said. It was just, you felt you could touch him. He was that close.
You did, and you could hear him eating. It was dark.
Drinking, he wasn't
Drinking,
eating, he was
sorry,
drinking.
yeah, you could hear him drinking. It was dark, but it was, there were lights out there, and it was incredible.
It was a fantastic experience just to see him so close as well.
Yes.
So it's not a very big campsite, this one. About 30 places, maybe, something like that.
Again, big pitches.
Yeah, quite large pitches generally.
That's our pitch.
And Olifantstrus basically used to be used, very sadly, between 1983 and 1985. It was a place where they used to be used for culling elephants. Yes, so they actually used to bring the elephants here to butcher them, to chop them up. They basically did an organised cull because they said there were too many elephants in the park. They killed 525 of them. And they used to bring them here so that they could cut them up safely, and so that people wouldn't then take the tusks and the head and that kind of thing as trophies. And they actually also...
Yes. A very gruesome history, unfortunately.
Yes. But they also ate a lot of the meat, so the meat became corned elephant meat, a bit like corned beef tins. They had corned elephant meat tins, which was quite scary, really. But I'm sure it would have fed an awful lot of people with 525 elephants. And they did a lot of research on them as well, and they said that basically they would go for a matriarchal herd, and they would kill the matriarch first, and then, because the others would then gather around the matriarch if she was dead, they would then kill the others very quickly, and they tried to do it as humanely as possible, but it was all very sad.
Very
and
gruesome.
It was pretty gruesome, and this is the material, or the equipment they used to use for hanging up the elephant when it was dead. and cutting it open.
As we say, there was an elephant here night before last, so
Yeah. So hopefully they've forgotten all about that, haven't they, we hope.
yes.
But it's a lovely campsite, very peaceful.
Again, everyone who we've met in Namibia have been so friendly, haven't
Yeah, they have. The lady who checked us in and the guy who showed us around was just lovely, wasn't he? And when he said, "Oh, have you been here before?" we said, "Oh, 10 years ago." He said, "Oh, you won't find anything's changed." And it hasn't
And
really,
it
has
hasn't
it?
at
So
all,
that's
no.
fine.
So unfortunately, as we say, we're leaving Etosha. It's been another fabulous experience, hasn't it?
It has, yes.